Have you ever found yourself on this hamster wheel, pulling your hair out, trying every single thing you possibly can think of to become financially free, to improve your financial situation, starting a business, working a second job, getting raises, and yet you still find yourself in the same place, if not in a worse financial situation than you were before? If that's you, then this video is for you. Make sure you keep watching, because today we're going to talk about the real reason why most people never become financially free. What's going on? It's Luke Madeus, and I am here to talk about why most people never become financially free. Here's a quick little fun fact. Did you know that over 80% of the human population in the entire world lives in poverty? Did you know that over 80% of the people who live in America have less than enough? Why is that? Why is it that there could be so much abundance on the planet, so much financial abundance and opportunity right here on US soil, in other countries as well, and yet there are so many people who are struggling with money? You see, the answer to that question has nothing to do with how much money someone makes. And we all know this is true, even if we may feel that if we make a certain number of money, that we'll become financially free. This is the thing that most people think when they come from a background where financial literacy was not something that was being taught to them. See, most of us think that when we get to a certain magic number, right? Some people call it the fire number, but this magical number where when we get there, all of a sudden, all of our problems financially just go away. Like they just melt. Like we never have to work again. We never have to be stressed with money ever again. And for a lot of people, especially in America, that magic number is making $1 million. I know for me, when I got started as an entrepreneur, that was my magic number. Making my first million. I believe that once I became a millionaire, then I will never have to worry about money ever again. I will never have to be concerned about paying my bills or any of those things. And the truth of the matter is, that's not actually accurate. You see, wealth and financial freedom has more to do about financial literacy than it has to do about how much money a person earns. This is the reason why so many people who have had the blessing of coming across an enormous amount of financial abundance ends up being broke later on in their life. I mean, you know stories of people. This isn't anything that's new. I mean, think about the lottery, right? I live in Florida, so the Florida lottery is a big thing, okay? Many people will spend their money playing the lottery, buying tickets, buying scratch-offs in hopes to win $1 billion from the Florida lottery. And some people actually do win in their lifetime. But the statistics are extremely high, though, for people who actually win the lottery. Most of them go broke. Why is that? If the answer to financial freedom and financial independence for the rest of our lives was making some type of number, then how is it possible that someone who can come from nothing and end up becoming a professional sports player, making millions of dollars per year on a contract, or a professional actor or a professional singer or songwriter, how is it possible that they can make millions and then still go broke? They've made so much money, and in their latter years, when they should be retiring, they still got to do tours. They still got to sell products. They still have to work. Okay, I want to help you. If you're just one person that's listening to me right now, and you're hearing my message and it's resonating with you, I want to help debunk this belief that we need to make $1 million, when reality is we need to become financially literate. The real enemy here is financial illiteracy. The real reason why most people struggle their entire lives is because they do not have the proper financial education to deal with money in the right way. they don't have the proper understanding about finances so that their relationship with money is healthy. Let me put it this way. Most people learn how to earn, but most people never learn how to keep, how to grow, and how to protect what they earn. And that, my friend, is the complete game changer that's going to determine whether or not money will always be an enemy of you, or if it's going to be something that's going to propel you into living your dreams. So many people, especially in America, want the American dream, right? The white picket fence, right? The beautiful family, the dog, little Fido barking, right? And the truth of the matter is, all of that sounds really nice, but have you seen the foreclosure rates lately of how many people who actually went and got the dream and ended up having to lose it all? What sense does it make to become successful and then having to start all over again because you had to lose it all? Why does that even happen? How could one be doing so well financially that they can purchase a home, that they can live the American dream, and then find themselves having to start all over again? The answer to that question is financial illiteracy. America is a capitalistic nation, right? Which means that everything, when it comes to business, entrepreneurship, enterprise, everything, unless you are a non-for-profit, has to deal with churning revenue and profit for shareholders. One of the reasons why America is so abundant is because we have so many people who consume things. And because we're a nation of consumers, we can actually have lots of big business here, because who are the clients of big business? Consumers are, right? You've got two types of businesses. You've got B2B, that's business to business, and you've got B2C, that's business to consumer. Business to business is when you're in a business that offers a service or product to another business that most likely offers a service or product to a consumer. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to the consumer need. And because we're such a big consumerism country, this is why you can make so much money here, because people are trained and they're programmed to consume. We all do it. We all consume. All of us are consumers. At the end of the day, even people who produce things are consumers. A good book that I highly recommend you check out is this book right here. This book right here. It's called From the Trash Man to the Cash Man by Myron Golden. Let me tell you something. It's a book about how anyone can get rich starting from anywhere. And this book is an absolute game changer. I read this book years ago. I love reading the book. I revisit it because there are so many financial nuggets in here about financial literacy that you will learn and that will help you improve your financial life. The reason why I'm bringing this book up to you right now is because as I was sharing with you, it reminded me of something that I learned in this book from Myron Golden. It talks about the psychology of poor people, middle class people, and rich people. And it's actually very profound, the big difference that each class of people have. Now, I want you to understand something, right? Being poor, being middle class, or being rich is a mindset. It has nothing to do with the amount of money you have. It has everything to do with your relationship with money. You're not defined by what you have. You're actually defined by what your habit and understanding about what you have actually is, if that makes sense. There's three different types of people in the world, right? There's poor mindset people, there's middle class mindset people, and there's rich mindset people. You get to decide what type of mindset you're going to have. And the kind of mindset that you actually have is also going to determine what type of financial lifestyle you're going to end up creating for yourself in your future today and tomorrow, right? And so with that being said, what are the differences between the three? Well, poor people who have a poor mindset, their relationship with money goes like this. They spend money to then spend all their money on bills. So they make money to spend it all on bills. Poor people make money and spend it all on bills. To them, in their mind, this dollar bill that I have, every single dollar that I got, The purpose of this dollar is not to do anything else but pay my bills. I got to pay the rent man. I got to pay the car man, right? I've got to pay the grocery man. I got to pay everybody else but myself. And the relationship with every dollar is this dollar, the purpose of this dollar is to pay bills, okay? And then now we move on to the second type of mindset around money, which is middle class mindset. These are middle class people, the people who are living in homes, right? They're driving the car that they like to drive because they got good credit. The relationship with money when it comes to the middle class mindset is that the purpose of this dollar is to help me keep my credit looking good. What does that mean? It means that I'm going to go out and borrow money from the bank so that I can use that money to go consume, okay? And every time I get paid with my paycheck, I'm going to use that money to pay the debt that I owe when I borrow that money to consume. That is essentially middle class relationship with money. It's using money simply to keep the credit looking good, because as long as you've got your credit, you can go out there and buy what you want, whether that's a house or a car, right? Or clothes or vacation, and just swipe it on a credit card and you're good to go. Don't worry about it. I'll pay it later with interest as I get paid my paychecks. I got a question for you. Have you seen the foreclosure rates lately? Have you seen the foreclosure rates lately? Like, oh my gosh, right? It's extremely high. Why? Because there's all of those middle class people who were running that type of system with their money. And as soon as things change, whether that a job loss happened or some tragic thing happened in their life, it affected their finances and the house of cards crumbled. And then we have the third type of individual, the third money mindset, which is how the rich and wealthy think. It's how the rich and wealthy perceive money, right? The rich look at money. When they get their dollar in their hand, what we do is we look at money from this perspective, okay? We look at it from the perspective of this dollar's purpose is to go out there and earn me more money. This is the purpose of every dollar that I get. It's to turn that $1 to $10, to turn $10 to 100, 100 to 1,000, so on and so forth. Instead of me spending that money, rushing to go spend it, I'm going to pay myself first so that I can deploy some of the money that I'm earning to go and work for me, so that eventually one day in my future, my money will be able to bring me so much money that I no longer have to work again. That is called the rich and wealthy mindset. These are the three types of mindsets that are in this book, that this book will teach you, right? Some of the things that I've learned from this book, and there's so much more in this book that is so valuable. So if you're interested in getting the book, as I mentioned before, go to SOWcontents.com, SOWCONTENTS.com, and you can grab yourself a copy of this book. It is absolutely worth it, well worth the read. And guess what? It's not that hard to read either. Very, very thin, but the information is extremely abundant. As human beings, we were never meant to live in lack. We were never meant to live in poverty. We were never meant to live in survival. We were meant to live in abundance. When God planted Adam in the Garden of Eden, okay, and he created Eve out of his rib, did you know that there was gold in the Garden of Eden? Did you know that the Bible talks about money many times? I believe it's over 50 times money is quoted in the Bible. Did you know that you may know that King Solomon was the richest person to ever walk the earth, and he was rich because God made him rich? Did you know that Abraham was rich in silver, cattle, and gold? We're God's children. We're all sons of Abraham. We're all sons of God. We're made in his image. But when God created us as human beings, he created us in an environment where he put gold around us. What does that even mean? It means that it's a representation that we are meant to live in abundance. We're not meant to live in lack. I want you to know that it is your birthright to have financial abundance. And as long as you believe it is for you, and you take the time to do the hard work now up front to learn, get educated about money, and get more financially literate, I can assure you, you will see the day where you start to live in that abundance. Even if it is just going from not having enough margin, not having enough at the end of the month, to having more than enough at the end of the month, and you being able to now be able to breathe with your extra time and money. That is a life-changing thing. So many people I talk to, especially when it comes to real estate, they're getting into the real estate industry because they want to earn all this money in real estate, which is fantastic and fine and dandy. But if your relationship with money is poor, it doesn't matter how much money you make in real estate. You will remain poor, not because you didn't make a lot of money, but because your relationship with money is tainted. It is broken. And so I want to help you fix that. I want to help you earn money in real estate. Yes, we're going to do that too. But I definitely want to make sure that you're equipped and that you are aware of what you need to know so that your journey goes differently than other people. And most importantly, your journey starts to take a real turn in your own personal life. And instead of having to be on this hamster wheel of constant around and around and around again, which can happen even as an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship for some people is just a glorified job. Okay? They're never really free. With this information, entrepreneurship is going to become the fuel to help you expedite your freedom. And it all starts, though, with getting financially educated. And this is one of the books I'd recommend for that. And there's other books as well, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Don't Be a Sucker. I mean, there's lots of finance books out there you can read to help you improve your financial know-how, your financial understanding. But it is important that you work on that while you work on the other areas of your life as well. Okay, so I hope that this podcast episode has been extremely valuable for you. If it has, do me one small favor in return. Like, share, and subscribe. Share it with somebody that you know could use this information. Someone who you know is working on their finances. They want to improve financially, but they're struggling with it. They're on this hamster wheel as well. Share with them what you've learned and share with me what you've learned. Type in the comments one thing that you took away from this episode today and tell me what are some things that you're doing right now. What are some things that you're trying? What are some things that you've discovered about your relationship with money that you want to share? Share it in the comments. I'm more than happy to have conversation with you in the comments. I'm eager and excited to hear some of the things that you've got to share as well. So definitely take the time to do that, and we will chat in the comments. Until the next video, though, I want to wish you a wonderful, wonderful day. May God bless you. May He provide for you. May He prosper you. And may He bring you abundant blessings above and beyond, more than you can ever think or imagine. With that being said, I will see you on the next episode. Until then, au revoir.